Hello students, my name's Harry Jones. So the last time you saw me, this happened.
What did you say before? Alan!
And I'm gonna level with you, a lot more has happened off camera since then. I'm currently working on a video with Doddle Boyo, which will be the next video in the Hello Students lineup. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you all this. It's a video I made for university, and I'm very proud of it, and it very much falls into the Hello Students style of content. So I really hope you enjoy it, and stick around because the next video on Hello Students is going to get interesting. There's a massive umbrella underneath the term short film, and an example that seems to be forgotten about is music videos. Relton writes, "For it is easy, as many critics have done, to either dismiss a music video as a worthless byproduct of capitalist business practice, or worse, to ignore it altogether. There's a mindset that music videos aren't or shouldn't be involved in the short film discussion at all, because they can just be adverts to promote an artist and nothing else. One of Andrew Goodwin's key features of a music video is the star image, i.e. the artist is in the music video to promote an album all themselves. But if you study a group like Gorillaz, a fictional band that bases a fictional story around their music videos, you can easily dismantle the limited mindset that Relton presents." Ex-chair of the Short Film Fund, Christina Milligan, said, "A short film is strictly speaking any film of shorter than feature length, made for the exhibition on the cinema screen, but where the artistic impulse, nevertheless, is more cinematic than televisual. Short films are often used to be experimental and tell simple stories, or ideas in non-conventional ways. Narrative music videos will typically fit all these categories, and as a result they land themselves in that same bracket. Often a key topic featured in music videos is mental health, typically referencing the artist's inner struggle. Videos like It's Not Living If It's Not With You by the 1975, Sleeping Powder by Gorillaz, and Brain Stew by Green Day all tackle how the artist is feeling through visuals, lyrics, and artist performance. For example, in Sleeping Powder and It's Not Living, it's made very clear that both parties are on some kind of drug. The lyrics, "Collapse my veins wearing beautiful shoes," is a clear indication of heroin use, and for Gorillaz, the song is literally called Sleeping Powder, an obvious substitute name for a drug. As for Green Day, it's presumed to be Billy Joe's personal struggle for mental health rather than a drug abuse. All of these videos present different reasons for spiraling, both within the video and what is to be assumed outside of their performance. However, the artist being in the video itself can bring up the question of hyperbole. Are they exaggerating this for character promotion, or is it genuine? Which leads into The Wolf. The Wolf is a perfect example of a short that tackles the problems with mental health via a music video narrative. Some of Goodwin's codes and conventions apply to the video, however, as the artists themselves aren't present within the video, these will be the primary conventions that are seen throughout. But more importantly, the question of hyperbole isn't applied in the same way. If anything, it benefits the video. The opening establishes the use of minimalist colours both in the animation and the background. The whole music video, bar one scene, is all animated in black and white, creating an eerie tone that pairs with a quickly escalating opening of the song. Already the audience is put in a place of intrigue and fear, purely through the relationship between the music and the visuals. As well as this, the use of basic character designs means that anyone can identify or relate themselves to the video. As well as this, the opening verse has these lyrics to present. This furthers the idea that addiction can happen to anyone, which is why this video works so well. It takes focus away from an artist and focuses on a broader issue. At the beginning of the video, the biker is shown driving away from the wolf, which often mutates into a disfigured spider-like creature when shrouded in shadow or not fully seen. This is repeated when the wolf is seen by the alcoholic and the smoker later on. By keeping the full look of the monster hidden, it achieves an effect used in horror films like The Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity. Like those films, the monster, in this case the wolf, is only shown for a few frames of animation. Horror analyst Carwin wrote, "What cannot be shown must be implied, and much of the art of the horror film has developed as a means of suggesting, in shadows for instance, what might be hidden in the shadows, thus confirming that the genre of music video is horror, as it uses elements presented previously, as well as most of the characters are seen running away from the monsters, which is a classic horror trope. All the while, it is paired with eerie, high-intensity music throughout, Ultimately, by making the music video fall into the horror genre, it shows a side of addiction that most other films wouldn't. Addiction was widely understood as a disease. By describing addiction as a disease, it presents us with a sense of fear, because addiction is terrifying. The addiction itself, while represented by the wolf, is also shown through the three main characters themselves, one of them being an alcoholic, another a smoker, but the biker's addiction is left anonymous. When the first two characters succumb to their addiction, the wolf appears, still looking diseased and disfigured as it did at the start. The opening lyrics of the chorus can link directly to Goodwin's convention about the relationship between lyrics and visuals. The first two lines here pair well with both instances of the visuals. Firstly, we see the alcoholic dart away from the wolf. He crashes into walls and his running is sporadic and frantic. Secondly, we see the smoker firstly attack the wolf, but then upon realizing the futility of her action, she attempts to run away. I'm out of my head, of my heart, and my mind. Both characters are just trying to escape from their problems rather than tackle them head on. Both displaying fear through the minimal visuals. The lyrics, "but you can run, but you can't hide, I'm gonna make you mine," continues to solidify it in the horror genre. Plus, these lyrics play as both characters are darting away from the wolf, but both ending with them in immediate danger that was worse than when they were first introduced. They can run, but they cannot hide anywhere, as their addiction will always be there waiting for them, with the final lyrics of the chorus being, in the opening and later third act of the video, the biker is driving away from the wolf, but come the third act, the wolf is multiplied. And because we don't know what the biker's addiction is, we can only assume that whatever it was has been completely consumed by the wolf. A minor detail to note is when the other two characters see the wolf, they are visibly frightened. The biker, however, looks determined, like this is standard. Eventually he meets with the other two characters, but in an attempt to save them, he smashes his bike into the other cars, destroying and causing more damage to all three of them and leaving them vulnerable, while the lyrics heard twice already play in the background. This scene is attempting to visualise the pain of friends and family who have to deal with a loved one going through addiction, but through a very visceral lens, by showing characters being battered, bruised and burned by the explosion caused by the biker who up until this point had chosen to run. More often, the clinician is left to deal with the collateral damage. However, rather than showing the characters going for medical help, which is often the case with artists under addiction, the biker immediately confronts the problem himself. He runs directly at the wolf, and the music video ends, whether or not they got professional medical help or not. It leaves it up to the viewer, and the future viewings of the music video. By leaving it open-ended, it gives a sense of realism. Not everyone beats addiction. Ultimately, SIAMÉS the Wolf focuses in on how damaging addiction can be on mental health, without falling into the trap of focusing it in on the artists themselves. The star image is not something present at all, however making the video so much more impactful as a result. It instead presents an overview on the subject as a whole. By making all the characters fictional and diverse, anyone can relate to them and identify with the problems presented in the video. No one feels that they have to look up to an example. Rather, they just relate to the main protagonists. By having this be an objective look at addiction presented in an eerily beautiful way, and having the music itself be fantastic and pair so well with the visuals, it allows the audience the opportunity to experience it more than once. Goodwin sums this up perfectly by stating, "My opinion was that videos should not be like little features. They should be a different medium entirely. We should make videos that address different needs. They have to bear up under repeated viewings and still have something to offer."